It's a beautiful Sunday. Welcome to your cinematic world of movies, your cinematic world of wonders. My name is Focus, the Batman.
I'm the man with no name, but I have a name, MC Bluetooth CCFR.
So you know how we do it now. We bring you the movies that dropped this week, then bring you movies for last week. We have box office, we have cinematic gist. Everything is just packaged for you. And if you've been following us on social media, you should know that we have a special guest that we will be presenting to you very soon. It's been 3 years. I mean, the last time we had him was February 27th, 2020, and now we are
Don't
having
worry, our IMDb keeps dates. He keeps dates.
and now we are having him
He shocked you too,
again. So let's start off with movies that dropped this week. Okay, starting off, we have the highly anticipated movie. I mean, it's out now. Nollywood movie, amazing movie. If you've seen it, it'll be a good time for you to drop one or two about it. And it's none other than The Black Book.
Yeah, that's out on Netflix. It came out, that was yesterday, right?
That was on Friday.
On Friday. Okay, I said yesterday because I didn't have light on Friday. So, so it came out on Friday. If you've seen it, let's hear your takes. You can send us messages on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line is open 080-999-301-37. The reason why we are dropping these lines now, let's know your take before someone now say, you did not talk about Nigerian film. You did not talk about, start talking now.
Start talking now. Share your thoughts on it. And the next movie that dropped this Friday also, it's none other than another Nollywood movie, star-studded, and it's called A Weekend to Forget. Yes, it has Stan Nze in it. It has Erica, and it's about a group of 7 friends who went for a retreat, and then
something happens.
Things start to unveil themselves. Okay, so this week also we had the 4th installment to the franchise that started back in 2010 called
The Expendables
4. Yeah, and it's almost a decade since the last one dropped, and this one is R-rated.
It has always been R-rated now.
No, it has not.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait,
it has not always been
so all the mindless violence.
Yeah, it has not always been R-rated.
Wow. Wow.
So fans wanted an R-rated Expendables, and I think they are having that with this Expendables 4.
Okay, so if you're a lover of horror, this is, of course, where's our horror monger? That guy loves horror. Anyway, so if you're a lover of horror and thriller, there is the one that no one will save you.
You say you don't like to watch trailers these days, and you should. Okay, the movie is out. You should see it. It's crazy. I think it's just. Oh, let me not say too much.
Not say too much. No one will save you. That one is out on Prime.
You should see
is it out on Prime or Hulu?
Yeah, I think it's Hulu.
Anyway, for those of you that know, Nigeria no dey well, it's out on Hulu.
They can subscribe and go see it. Also, Sex Education Season 4, the final season dropped also this week, and I'm 3 episodes in already, and I'm afraid to just finish it because these are characters that I've known for a while. I've been with them. You've invested so much in the characters, Otis, Maeve, Eric, and the rest, and now this is their final season for us to say goodbye.
Say goodbye to them. Well, good readings because I've never really enjoyed Sex Education.
What?
Okay, can I on my? Is my mic on
Your
now?
mic is on.
Because I want MC Bluetooth.
No, why? Yeah. Please check it now. See the thing, I've never really been interested in Sex Education.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's a very good show. It's a good show.
Well, now that we're talking about good shows, I wanted China to introduce another movie that came out this week. It's called Spy Kids.
Armageddon.
Are we talking about it?
No, we're not talking about it.
You've seen it,
I've seen it.
Exactly.
And I'm pissed.
Hold on.
Hold your peace.
You will go to toilet soon. Okay. So guys, we are live on the movies right now. You can join the show. We will soon be opening the phone lines, but don't forget we have a guest in the studio. Award-winning.
Morty. Don't forget to add Morty. Yes, let's go. All right, and finally we have the Continental from the world of John Wick. The first episode dropped on Friday,
and it is 1 hour 26 minutes and some seconds.
Yes, it's a three-part mini series. One episode is already 1 hour 26 minutes. So imagine what 2 and 3 would be.
When you say from the world of John Wick,
it's from the world of John Wick. You know that the hotel is called the Continental.
Yeah, yes, it's a younger version of. It's a prequel to the world of John Wick.
So the Wick guy is not going to be there, right?
No, it's not.
Thank God. At least I can now enjoy.
But Winston is there. Winston is there.
Yeah.
The black guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with him.
The younger version of him.
It's fine. As far as
and just so you know, the guy that's playing the younger version is actually in Nigeria. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay, so those are the things that dropped this week. So let's check out the ones that dropped last week. Okay. Okay, how do you pronounce that his name again? Hercule Poirot. You say it with French accent.
Yeah, Hercule. You have to say it with a phlegm.
Hercule Poirot.
It's a lie.
It's not like that.
This is more French one. Do not let me.
So after this is the third installment to the Hercule Poirot of being an investigator, and it's called A Haunting in Venice. Remember the Orient Express?
Yes.
Death on the Nile. So this is the third installment for it, A Haunting in Venice. And another movie that dropped last week on Netflix, it's Love at First Sight. Yeah.
Have they look me? Why be saying that me go see this one? Calm down now.
But we don't talk anything now.
We didn't say anything.
It sounded like a low
another
budget
one that
movie.
came out is Cassandra. You
Yeah.
can go check that one out. You know,
Chinat will like that movie.
yes,
though.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
You will like
You
it.
should check out Cassandra.
I've not seen the trailer. I've not seen the poster.
Should I explain it a little bit for you?
You don't have to. I just feel it's just going to be bad.
No, you will like it. It's not
like-
just cheesy type of
No,
thing.
it's not even that. It's about dress up guys who dress up like women to go and fight
I
wrestling.
don't dress up like you.
I'm not saying
Did
you
you say
do not.
did you say
We just say you will like
said you
it
will
now.
like it.
This is wrong.
Didn't you like red and blue? What
Red, blue, and
Red,
red, white, and royal blue.
I did not like it. I was trying to explain
My
the
brother,
deep
don't
connection about the movie. That it
Deep
wasn't
you
about the
there.
storyline. It was about Prince Harry and Meghan. I have bad friends.
You don't have bad friends. You are a bad influence.
Also, we have Miseducation. Then the Gabriel Afalaya movie with Ivy Kujaye cannot. How do you pronounce it last week?
Kanani.
Kanani, yes. And then
I've been calling it Kani. Kani since.
A Million Miles Away, and the morning show season 3 all dropped last week. It's boring.
That million miles, I expected so much, but it just did.
Yeah.
So talk about welcoming people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, movie lovers and enthusiasts. We want. Okay, very quickly, in our midst, we are proud to play host to the award-winning director and producer DIMBO Atiyah.
Oh my God, you said it without saying ladies and gentlemen. You are an OAP, do this well.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing
Give it up.
on the far right corner of the studio, we have the multi-award winning director and producer, DIMBO Atiyah.
It's been 3 years.
Yes, 3 years actually. Yes.
Please, you guys should be inviting me more now.
Okay, so
it's too long.
We've been saying this.
This is family. This is home.
Of course it is.
Please, let it not stay that long again, I beg.
So we've been saying this for long, that the studio is open to you guys anytime. Like you
I'm available anytime.
Okay,
I promise you.
So talking about being available anytime, DIMBO. Recently, you put out a casting call.
Yeah.
And you said you were looking for a younger version of 2 actors.
Yes.
How did that search go?
I did not see it, but let me hear from you, sir.
So, you know how, to be honest with you, that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the industry, where most times the people who normally, subscribe or apply for these things really are people who don't have any business doing it. I promise you, because we had said that it was a football thing, something. Most of the people that sent in were people who ran into the football pitch, were juggling balls, and they just they're just sending videos to say, but then we're looking for actors who can actually play football.
Okay, before you give us all the gist on how it went down, the stuff he was looking for younger actors for is actually a series he's working on, and it's called Money in the Game. So you tell us a little bit about Money in the Game and how the process has been, because it's not easy. You're being a filmmaker right now, like it's crazy. So tell us about Money in the Game and why does it have this? It has this star power from Maoli Gavo. You get that like,
and you brought back some of the popular faces you see on most
of
the
Chisom is in it from Halita. So tell us about Money in the Game.
For the longest time, I've wanted to do something around football. Football is like a third religion in this country, whether you like it or not. It's a unifier. It's a thing that we all, I've always wanted to do, which is still in development, a story about the Daman Miracle, the Under-17 World Cup. The boys that came from 4-0 behind to win the that's a beautiful story that I've always wanted to, but it's always been a big project.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to do something football. And so the idea of Money in the Game just hit me. Apart from what we see on the pitch, there is so much that happens behind the scene in football. Like, it is such a world that we don't know anything about. We always just know that, oh, this player transferred to this club, or that player went to that club.
Yeah, we
and
never
then we're
know the
hearing all the
process.
figure, but what happens behind that scene?
Exactly.
Trust me, is a whole process. It is a gold mine for storytelling.
I think a show that played with that and we all enjoyed has to be Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that, but I haven't seen that, but what inspired me was Ballers. I don't know if you saw it.
Ballers.
That was a show that, but of course, that had to do with American football. You know, the one that they kick with their hand and they call it football. You know, so when I watched that show, I liked it for the longest time, but I've always wondered what it would look like to play into the underground, what happens behind the scenes when players are being traded from one club to the other, you know. And a lot of it also is inspired by Mikel Obi's story. Not that that's the story, but of course, remember when he was transferring from Chelsea the whole
and Manchester
fight
and all the bad
that happened. It was the agents that we were actually looking at, the money that they were going to make from that deal. It wasn't even Mikel Obi. I mean, it was a conversation around who was making what money, you know. So money in the game is pretty much a story about two very, very big talent or sports management agencies. They are fighting over this under 17 player from Jos who just came back from the World Cup, and every club in the world wants to sign him. But there is a clause. It is in our own world. The NFA had said, because a lot of players go to Europe and they suffer, if you're below 18, you cannot sign for a foreign club until you're signed to a Nigerian
club first,
like a management company, so that they deal with the foreign clubs on your behalf. It is our own story. I don't know if that is what happens in NFA, but we wrote it that way. So in order for this boy to get signed to a foreign club, he needs to sign to a local club. You know, he needs to sign to a local talent management agency. So these two giants set in Nigeria are now fighting for the boy's signature so that they will represent him, because the billions are coming from. But then that is where the whole scandal now happened. Turns out that the shenanigans of how to sign this boy, all the tricks that you can imagine to get him and his family,
what will be in play.
That's what's going to be in play, pretty much. And then it turns out that there is a huge secret that should have stayed hidden.
Okay,
but
now
this whole drama,
this secret now will stay hidden because
it will stay hidden. You watch the show.
Okay, so now that you are calling it a show, it's not a movie.
No, it's a mini-series. It's a 5-part mini-series.
Yeah,
it's not a film. It's a 5-part mini-series. You know, so we're going straight to the streamers. That's the idea, because we already have a deal, the distribution deal with Cinemax. Cinemax are the of course, they've always been there. Okpe has always been there. He just started Cinemax a year ago. Okay. He was one that distributed Brotherhood. He distributed Sister, and he's done a couple of and he recently just wrapped his own first production called The Party. If you guys have seen that.
I think I've seen something about The Party. Yes,
you know,
yes. It has one of our Abuja actor Ray Adika in it. Yes.
So they were the ones that distributed our film called Still Falling. When we wanted to, get a distributing company, it was easy to just call them and say, so that's what we're up to right now.
Okay, so now see how fun this conversation is, yeah? And this is what we talk about regularly, saying if you're a filmmaker, be open to share information.
Yeah.
We've always said this. Nollywood has always been shrouded in, will I call it secrecy?
I will tell you why. The biggest problem Nollywood has is non-disclosure agreements.
NDAs, everybody
is signing NDAs in Nollywood. And that is the problem. That is why we can't talk about things. I can't tell you figures. I can't tell you what's happening because there are NDAs all over the place.
Because one that I did, they told me not to say anything about it.
Exactly.
I told everybody I'm inside the film. Ramsey Noah was the director and he's acting inside.
And these NDAs sometimes they come in perpetuity. There are things that you can't say about the project for the longest of time in your life. So that's one of the problems that the industry has. That's why a lot of information is hidden, because we always get to sign NDAs.
Wow. Okay, so
isn't that kind of detrimental to the system?
Well, I think it's simply because in Nigeria we're so just used to not telling. Everybody wants to keep it to themselves. Nobody wants to know how much this stream gave you or streamers gave you to make this show, or nobody wants to know how much you were paid to do this. So everybody just keeps quiet about it. It is a thing that we found ourselves in. I've signed NDAs that look like a book. I'm telling you, pages are all over the place. Like it took my lawyer a week to digest the and get back to me and say, what is this thing now? How, So that's the problem. It has become a thing because we're just very secretive in this place. Nobody wants to know what the other person is doing. Simple.
Now we have the award-winning producer, director, DIMBO ATIYA in the studio. We are asking a lot of questions, and the reason why we are really dancing around the whole Nollywood, Hollywood, streaming, cinemas, we are talking about this discussion because a lot of people do not really have an idea how this works.
Yeah,
and now we just talked about casting now. And we used your movie, your project as an example. And you were talking about the fact that a lot of footballers came who are not actors and they are looking for actors.
Yes.
Footballers.
And you cannot play ball like that. So you
I think that's one of the difficult things that we have in Nigeria. Because coming down here, a thought was running through my mind. So I recently saw a Nigerian action movie. Yes.
It's the Black Book. We don't talk. We know it.
And you know how it is that you want to see a movie? Because I could feel a lot of John Wick in that movie. You see actors trying to fight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, it's the
and then when you get fighters, they can't act. So it's really a hard.
So let me expand. For the longest time, I think that a lot of people do not see acting as a career in this country.
Yes.
It's a problem.
There's
just a few people who have taken this as a career. And these are people who actually came from the theater angle.
Yeah.
A lot of people who jump into this thing just do it because, I probably know a producer. Let me just try my luck. Or they're just jumping into it. So the craft is always lacking.
Yes.
So it's not just sending me fine pictures. I've seen pretty women. I've seen everything that you can imagine. I've seen people solicit me so that they can get. It's the thing that we live in this industry. So one of the things that I do easy is that I pay attention to who is doing what. And a lot of times I use my instincts, and Daniel is a very, very good example of. I just met this gentleman one day, and I told him, come and audition for something. My instincts were strong. I knew there was something there. And the moment he stepped in, this man has transitioned from just,
Rema.
and I'm being very honest. You're going to see his performance in the new Sons of the Caliphate series.
Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
the, you are in the Rishantes.
It was just one day I was watching him on set when we were filming the Rishantes, and in my head I'm like, wait, if I put this dark pencil in this guy's eyes and allow him with some there, this guy
he
look
can
like
actually be a
guy.
criminal.
I beg. I want to use this opportunity. So I want to use this opportunity to ask Biggie, can you shape your beers and play DPO for me?
It depends
It
on
was
the
in-
movie.
Nobody will look at me and ask me whether I can play the game because I will not shave my beard.
I have to keep my beards for how long?
For the longest time,
6 months.
waiting for him to look, because he looked very clean when we were doing the Rishantes, so he had to keep the beard so he looks rough and everything. But you guys are just definitely going to see that performance, and I like where he talked about the fight thing. You guys are going to see a fight scene where he was involved in that. Trust me. You will see.
He has been bullying us in the office, but we're not going to say anything.
We're not going to know what
But coming back to casting quickly, just so one of the things that people must understand is that if you're not good at this thing, you can never be good at it unless you put your heart to it. Some people think that it's just because you're pretty or just because you know someone. No. Acting is deeper than that. It is a craft that you have to every day. Even the ones that sit down every day and call themselves actors. There are some people that I will not cast for free. I know there are people.
God.
If you want me to start calling names, I'll call them. There are people I will not cast for free. So
Two names.
you said
No,
why?
But sorry, talking about acting professionally, you said something about that. But don't you said we don't have most persons acting professionally.
Yeah.
It's just Mano. But don't you think it's playing out? I mean, it's because you know Biggie.
But do you know Biggie's background?
Do you know Biggie's background in acting?
Biggie has
not just physical acting,
from
Because
portrait.
trust me,
Yeah.
when you see those persons from the whole they went to school, they did theater, as blah blah, you find out that they don't get much roles as expected.
I agree with you. And let me tell you why. It's simply because we've come to that place where films have become too commercial and everybody wants to break out easily. And everybody wants to make money back. So for example, you take one of those Big Brother people and throw them in the show. And it's because they have followers. Let's be honest. These guys can easily win any award. Put them in any category and they will win it. I've lost to Big Brother people before. I know what the last year, this year. Bro, I've lost to Big Brother people. So I know what we're talking about. I'm just saying, he might be the least in acting, but because the person has some sort of following,
Yes.
producers have decided, you know what, let's be throwing them in this mix. So whether they're horrible or not, at the end of the day, it's their faves that are coming to come and vote for them.
And since it's viewers' choice,
That be
viewers.
at the end of the day, but that's not even we're just talking generally about those who, I mean, check it and see, almost everybody that has left the Big Brother house has been involved in
One acting.
one acting or the other. Why? Because the followers are there. Apparently these people have farms where where farm is F-A-R-M,
Yeah, farms.
Yeah.
where they cultivate these votes from.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
have a level of followership that you can leverage on. So producers have decided, you know what, cut all these professional things. Just put me fine-looking girls in this thing.
With plenty followers.
We're plunging dresses in the middle.
Neckline.
Put one wig all the way down, lipstick and everything, and later come within and we're good to go. It is what is happening in the industry now. So a lot of times the people who are really the professionals, those who can actually do the acting, most times don't get these roles. Why? Because
And even if they get the roles, they
even
don't
if
get
they
the
get it,
screen time.
even if they get it, that is why it's one of the things that you give the Black Book kudos for.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
that's the one reason
Yeah.
why you give a kudos. The boy took his time to say, you know what, we're going to cast people who can really
Yeah.
do this thing. You know, and I'm sure you guys are going to be talking about the movie and the parts where you will see where acting was done when professionals. Bimbo, what's her name?
Bimbo, I said Bimbo, Bimbo Manuel.
Bimbo Manuel.
No, not Bimbo Man, the lady. What's her name? In the beginning of the movie,
The one they
kidnapped
killed
her
her
husband.
daughter and her
That
husband.
whole emotion by the window when they were telling her everything. Now that
Is
you get to
acting.
that. No, that is deep. It's not just,
Where
you feel that
you need
part.
to watch it.
Okay,
the part
watch
where
We've not
say
seen
it.
between your
Okay,
I haven't
husband
seen
and
it, so don't spoil it. for
Don't
you
spoil
guys.
it.